Hey everybody, welcome to Big Valley Living. I'm JJ.
And I'm Michelle. It is asparagus season in the Big Valley, and it will probably be asparagus season soon in your neck of the woods if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. And, you can steam it, grill it, wrap it up and broil it with some prosciutto. But we also like to try and find new ways to make our asparagus. And many, many years ago, we found a great recipe for asparagus wraps. And we'd really like to share that with you, and we think you'll enjoy it.
Off we go.
So this is how we make our guacamole. Right now we have 3 avocados that have been peeled and pitted. And everybody's guacamole is somewhat a personal thing, but this is how we've done it for years and we really like it. I have 3 avocados, peeled and pitted, 2 crushed cloves of garlic, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 3 teaspoons of chili powder, and 1 teaspoon of table salt. Now what we're gonna do is, I have this really old pastry cutter and it doesn't have any sharp edges or anything. So I'm going to get the avocados going with this. If you don't have that, a nice fork is just fine. So we're going to get this going. We do not like off-color avocados, and that usually means that they're going to be a little bit firmer. Now, before I get to the next couple of points, I'm going to tell you real quickly that with guacamole, it's said that if you put a pit into the bowl when you let it marry with the flavors, that it keeps it from browning, along with the lemon juice, which I'm going to put in a second. And we also, we do that. We also cover it with plastic and we lay it on top to ensure that the air doesn't get to it and change the color. Ooh, that was a juicy one. So I'm just going to use the juice of a half a lemon. Okay. The idea here is to get this in the refrigerator and let the flavors get together before you bring it out to make your wraps. If you don't use all of this with your wraps, I don't see any reason why you couldn't have tacos the next night, or maybe some chips and salsa for lunch. I think JJ already has designs on that. So we mushed all of that together, okay? Now I don't really want to crush all of these onions that are going to be in here, and I'm just putting a little bit because we'll do something with that in a few minutes. Same with the cilantro. We don't want to mush it up, okay? So I put that in after the fact. And if you think about, folding in cheese where you don't want to have anything breaking up, it's the same principle. If you don't like cilantro, don't put it in. But if you do, indulge yourself because it's really good. All right, we like our stuff a little garlicky around here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw in another half a teaspoon of fresh garlic. We eat the same thing and we sleep in the same room, so no worries there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put a pit in here, and then I'm going to cover it with plastic and put it in the refrigerator while we move on to the next step. So you see the pit in the middle, and then you can see that I've put plastic wrap right on top of that and covered it so that there's very little air that can get in and no oxidization can happen. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator and let it get married while we prepare the other ingredients. Now we're going to make the rice mixture. The rice mixture is quite simple. Last night I followed the directions on the brown rice package that I had, and I cooked this brown rice. What I did after that was to cool it down. I put it into a 13x9 pan actually, and all I did was 2 cups of water to 1 cup of brown rice. Follow the directions. In this case, they cooked for approximately 50 minutes and then removed it from the heat. Once it was cooled down, I just put it into a container, threw it in the fridge. So that was approximately 2 cups of cooked, cooled rice. Stir it up first to make sure that you have all of the water and liquids incorporated into it. Now we're going to steam the asparagus just until it's warm. Then we're going to remove it and put it into some ice water. So make sure that you have something, either a bowl or a small pan with ice and water in it, so that you can stop the cooking process when they have just steamed. You want these crunchy, you want to really taste that asparagus flavor. So this is going to be 1 quart of water, filtered. It doesn't have to be. We use an old-fashioned steamer basket. I've got a couple of these in the house because you know what, guys? It's just perfect. There's a little bit of excess water sitting there, so you know what? I'm going to dump that out because we don't want it to be above the steamer bottom. Okay, so you put it in, you don't want to see any water above that. I'm going to show you how to break asparagus appropriately. We're only using the tips for this. So if you take a fresh stalk of asparagus, this has been rinsed, just break it where nature wants it to break. Okay, some are going to be longer than others, but you don't want that. Ooh, that's a little bendy. You don't want the woody bottoms of it, and you really don't want, for this recipe, you don't want really fat stalks because you're really only going to get like 1 or 2, maybe 3 if they're small, spears per wrap. Okay, so I'm going to finish getting this ready, and then we will turn on the stove and I'll tell you how to get perfectly steamed asparagus. The minute you see that, turn off that heat. Ooh, baby. And you see how bright green that is? Oh my God, right there. So I'm going to plunge that into the ice cold water. 100% whole wheat tortillas. That particular brand that I just showed you are really pliable, okay? But we're still going to warm them up because it's what we normally do. Keep your pan on somewhat low heat, maybe medium low. Keep them turned over because all you want to do is slightly warm them up and make them pliable. We're going to put 2 heaping tablespoons of the rice mixture onto a warmed tortilla. If you're not going to use these tonight, if you want to make them for a lunch tomorrow, potluck, what have you, and you have pliable tortillas, don't even worry about heating them up. Keep them away at least a half inch or more from the edge. Okay, and then clean hands. And there's no reason to use separate spoons. Then we're going to take a little bit of guacamole. Now, this guacamole looks brownish, but that's because we used a lot of cumin and chili powder because we like it spicy. Yours might be brighter green, and that's fine. Then what we're going to do for us is that we barely put any red onion in ours, and we like little onion flavor, little spice, okay? So sprinkle some of that extra red onion that you have already diced up. If you like cilantro, just a tiny bit more. Yum. You can't go wrong. If you don't like it, leave it out. You get that. Then what we're going to do is take 3 of the asparagus spears. Okay. Put them like that. Now, just for the sake of filming, I'm going to show you so you can see it coming towards you. Okay. Go ahead and start wrapping. And right about at the middle point, fold in your tortilla. Give a little more fold there at the end where there's nothing. And then continue, keep it tight, continue wrapping. And the real big thing here is just to keep it as one wrap, because if you're going to eat it tomorrow, and even if you eat it tonight, you want it to be nice and tight without a bunch of air bubbles and gaps. Okay? That is what you can have tonight. But if you're going to take it for lunch tomorrow, or make it ahead of time for a potluck, because goodness knows, if we're lucky, we'll be having potluck soon. That stuck to it. Then go ahead and wrap plastic tightly around it, very tight. Pull out that air. I'm going to turn it around. Okay, pull out the air. Wrap it really tight, about halfway through. Wrap your edge. Go ahead and roll it up. So if you want to take it for lunch tomorrow, or take it for some sort of a picnic or a potluck, go ahead and wrap it up tight. Put it into the refrigerator overnight, and it'll be good for tomorrow and even into the next day. So enjoy. We hope that you enjoyed this recipe. Please try it and let us know what you think. They're, again, just a really nice brunch or potluck meal, or for a warm night. And asparagus season goes through, what, like May or June?
Yeah.
So we really enjoy them. They keep very well for a couple of days. And that's important if you just want to have a couple of days of not having to think of what you're going to have.
And it's amazing how filling they are with that little bit of rice and stuff in there. They're pretty filling, so they'll fill you up. These are really yummy. Give them a try. Don't forget, if you found something from this video, don't forget to like, share with folks that you know, and subscribe if you would. That'd really help out our channel.
And don't forget to hit the bell. Ding, ding. For notifications.
See you later, everybody.
Be kind. Like that? Mm-hmm. How much?
It's delicious.